My name is Linda, and today I am going to share with you the steps that I have learned while I myself have been moving from dysfunctional and traumatized towards empowered, healing, and growing. I come from a place of dysfunction, and I come from a place of knowledge. Having experienced trauma as a child, I have gone through all the things you can go through, from really not knowing who do I need to date to feel fine, who do I need to speak to, who can I trust, what can I work with, can I even trust the people at work, can I trust my partner, a place of doubt, guilt, shame, all these things that you experience when you've been traumatized as a child. As a teenager, my first strategy was running away. So wherever things went wrong, wherever I acted out of anger or whatever it was that was going on at home that I couldn't admit, I ran away. That did not work out very well, because you see, when you run away, you come back, and you come back to the same situation. And running away comes from a place of emotion and dysfunction. So even though I would like to tell you, run away, well, it doesn't always work. So the first strategy that I have discovered that has worked for me so well is the day that I discovered that I had refused to be ashamed. And I call this stage the shameless ownership of my crap. I just decided, okay, this happened to me. Sure, I did. I don't tell people about it because I am ashamed of it. And why am I ashamed? It's not my crap. I didn't do this crap. I didn't drink too much. I didn't insult people. I didn't sleep outside naked or whatever it is that happened to you when you were a child. I don't know what happened to you. And this is a very good lesson, because I actually started to watch Shameless, the TV series. Yeah, I know. And there's an English version and there's an American version. And I saw the English version first. And to see Frank, oh my Lord. And I thought, that's my life. And I am so ashamed of my life. But it wasn't me, it was Frank, or in this case, my father. So what I am thinking is, or what I have thought is, as soon as I actually reduced the shame from my life, like minus shame, I started to deal with my crap, because I thought it's not mine. So then I could tell myself, it's not you, you didn't do it. And I could tell my friends, the first time I said my father was a drunk, I felt so relieved. It was like waking up one morning and finding this thing, it is not mine alone, and it is not mine to be ashamed over, and it is not going to, keep my life stagnant anymore. And that was it. So that's my first advice. Shameless ownership of the crap that happened to you, and shameless ownership of the crap that you have done in your dysfunction and in your trauma due to the crap that happened to you. You don't have to beat yourself up for that crap anymore. And you can say it loud to people, I am sorry, but I am not ashamed anymore. I just own it and I am moving on. My second tip is harmony. And what I mean by harmony, I mean to find a place of harmony or people of harmony that you can live with, that you can be close to, that you can be within in order to heal. This can sound so out there, but I promise, for me, my life changed when I lived with an old lady for 7 months, and she was in this calm space where there was no fighting, there was no frustration in her own life, there was no irritation when I came home, and there was nobody to fight with. She didn't fight with me, she didn't have a husband to fight with, there was nothing. Her taxes were paid, her income was in, her rents were paid. And suddenly I realized, my Lord, this is how life should be, just a calm space to come home. Because you see what happens when you have a calm space to come home and a calm person to come home to. is that you get space to think and to feel. That's what I found. So I could sit down and feel, I had a good day today. Did I? And when I had a bad day, I could say, why did I have a bad day today? Because as I grew up, I never had space to just think, why was my day horrible today? Could I have done something to change it? Can I do something to change it tomorrow? Was it my fault? Can I grow from it? All these questions that you need to ask yourself in order to come into empowerment, into healing, into growing. You need harmony for that to happen. Otherwise, you're stagnant in the wheel, of tired, irritated, not happy, tired, irritated, not happy, and you think everything has to do with the past. But it doesn't really. It has to do with now. And what happens when we are traumatized and when we are dysfunctional is that we look for people who remind us of our past. You date the same guys, they drink too much, they take you out partying, they occupy all your mental space so you can't think. This is totally strategic for the brain, psychologically and emotionally. And what you need to do is take a step back and spend time with friends, date people, create a new family if your family is still dysfunctional. Everything, let it be harmonious. Just think, what is harmony for me? And from that space, create the life that you want. Those were my 2 tips on how to go from dysfunctional and traumatized to empowered, healing, and growing. The first one was shamelessly owning your crap, both the crap that you have done and the crap that has happened to you. And the second one was finding harmonious space and people where you can think, feel, and heal in a space where people are not fighting with you, energy is not fighting with you, and nothing is in your way. Because otherwise, you get stuck in the dysfunction. And this time, maybe it's someone else's dysfunction, and you're grown up. So you don't want to get stuck in someone else's dysfunction when you're grown up. Did you enjoy this video? Please follow and comment below, and see you next week. Next week, I will continue with the next 2 steps. Join me on this channel. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining.